have you seen Jeff respond so far after that game?
You know, I knew Jeff after the game. I know Jeff. He's a guy that he's going to wear the weight of the team on his shoulders. He's just the type of guy that wants to succeed so much, and I knew he would bounce back. He's bounced back phenomenally, and it was the first game and his first time playing at Nebraska. So there was always going to be a lot to clean up, and it was a tough loss, but there was a lot of positives we could go on from now on.
What are the key cleanup items, I guess, for the O-line when you kind of looked at the first week and how you want to jump it forward to the second?
Yeah, I think, again, like I said, it was first game. There's a lot of things we need to clean up. Just small technique issues, making sure our eyes in the right gap in pass protection, staying balanced in pass protection. We gave up 2 sacks during the third quarter, and just making sure we're finishing on our guys. We had that last play, that that fumble. We want to have a fumble there if the line just finish on their guys. So.
Ethan, being from Nebraska, do you kind of get a sense of the importance of this rivalry with Colorado?
Oh yeah, I grew up a huge Nebraska fan. My grandpa, he's passed away now, but I remember he had Colorado stuff, like Nebraska, Colorado week. I remember growing up. That was huge. That Oklahoma and Miami, those were the guys that we never really played when I was growing up, but I just would hear legends of the rivalry, all the rivalries we would have. So yeah, it was. I'm excited. I was there in 2019 and was a freshman and didn't play that game. So it'd be really it's gonna be awesome to just play against them this year. So.
What do you remember about that environment in 2019?
You know, it was like going any. That was a big rival. The crowd's pretty. They don't like us too much, but I think the one thing that stood out last time was how much Nebraska fans were there, and I'm hoping this year's gonna be the same. I remember looking back, and we had a sea of red. So yeah, it's gonna be bumping after they won after TCU, and then for us, close game against Minnesota. It's gonna be a good atmosphere.
First Nebraska game you ever went to away from home? I know it was as a player, but did you ever go anywhere before that?
No, I think that was our first game away from home. I think we played Southern Alabama, and then I think we went up there.
You personally, it was the first time you'd ever seen Nebraska play outside of Memorial Stadium?
Yes, I believe so. Yep. I only made the home games growing up. Never made it away game. So.
You saw those, whatever it was, 30,000 people in red at that game. Did that shock you in that moment, having never been away?
Yeah, I wouldn't say it really shocked me. Like I said, I'm growing up. I just know how passionate the fans are, and I knew for me it just reaffirmed how we have the greatest fans in the nation. So it wasn't too much of a shock just because I knew a lot of people that were going that anyway. So I knew there's gonna be a lot of red that would show up to that game.
You watched the Colorado game live on Saturday?
Yeah, we as an offensive line and a couple other people on the offense just watched the game. We watched a couple games. Having a game on Thursday, we had a Friday recover, and Saturday was just go out and watch football. So
as that game comes to a close, and you see the celebration, and you see all the people talking about Colorado and all that stuff, what's going through your mind about getting locked in already by then to play this game?
yeah, there's a lot of noise. I always say there's a lot of noise, especially with. I remember I looked at Twitter one time, and everyone was going crazy, and it just comes down to we play a football game, 60 minutes of football. So no matter what happens, no matter what people say, we're going to watch the film, look at their techniques, see what we could do against them, and I don't know. It doesn't really matter what everyone else says. It just matters when the whistle blows. Started on Saturday at 10 a.m. So.
What kind of defensive front do they have? What defense did you see them running?
Yeah, so they kind of throw kind of they have odd, even, a lot of different fronts. It's kind of hard to tell, especially how fast the tempo was that both those teams played. I think they played pretty basic just for the fact they needed to get set up in something, but it'd be interesting. We only have one game on them, and all the players there are transfers, so it's going to be interesting just scouting them, and we just got to watch a lot of film this week. So.
How valuable was that, just to get one look at them with all these new players against a quality team last week?
Oh, we were talking about that the other day. It was like trying to scout those guys for the first game must have been a headache, especially for the offensive line, just because you have no idea what's going to happen. New coach, like I said, every one person on their defense was a transfer, and it was like it's kind of hard to know how they're going to play off each other and how much they've changed or how the techniques that the coaching staff that they brought in was going to change their techniques. So yeah, it was good just to get them on film and see what they're kind of playing with. So.
Nationally, there's so much talk about them now. It's understandable they win as a big underdog on the road, game one. Deion Sanders' debut.
Mm-hmm.
How is that received here? Do you guys take notice of the fact that they're getting so much of the attention this week leading into it?
Yeah, I think especially younger guys being first time exposed to college football, that's probably what they're looking at on Twitter and stuff. But like one thing I liked about Deion, he always says it's about us, and that's the same mindset we have. You could get lost in the hype, you could get lost in rivalry, you could get lost in like we have two new head coaches playing against each other. But at the end of the day, it's all about us. We control what we can control, and the outcome from there is going to play itself out. So.
Is there any freedom in being the underdogs this week? I mean, in a lot of different ways.
You know, I always view my mindset is I've been here for 5 years. I haven't made a bowl game, so in my mind, we're always the underdogs because we've always been fighting. We got new coaching staff, new stuff, and I never had the mindset of we're gonna like go like every team we face is gonna be a team that we gotta take seriously. So we gotta go play that game like we have nothing to lose. So.
That was game one in the locker room for all of you guys together with Coach Rule. What's he like? I mean, is he a fiery guy, pregame, halftime? We saw some videos from camp where he's pretty got you guys pretty good, motivating with his speech. How did that play out in the game?
You know, Coach Rule, he put us through the fire during fall camp, and then even today, every Tuesday, Wednesday, those are days that I just got done cramping up a little bit today because we've been going. But the biggest thing is he's built such good relationships with us that in that locker room, we didn't need any prep, pregame or hype speech or whatever. We just needed to know that he was with us and we were ready to ride. We already went through all the stuff that through all the adversity together that we know that we have complete trust in each other that we're going to go out and just do our jobs.
How much live work are you doing on Tuesday, Wednesdays? Like just like ones-on-ones, more like full tackling work compared to say past time?
Let's just say I always say that the game is the easiest thing we could do. Coach Rule had a quote that he's like, I don't know, in one of those videos he said that you shouldn't be worried about Saturday, you should be worried about playing our defense on Tuesday. And that's our mindset is like our greatest, when we're going to get the most work in are going to be those Tuesday, Wednesdays because we got probably 70, 80 plus snaps today at practice. And in the game last week, I think we got only like 56, 58. So, we've been putting in a lot of work, and that's hopefully that translates to the game this Saturday.
It's the other side of the ball, but how much do you think it helped the defense? It sounds like you hit more in camp than you did in the past, or you think that helped them, as far as tackling and all that stuff?
Oh, for sure. Especially we've had so many live reps that first game. Coach Rule, he put us, like I said, we've been going live and live tackling and shooting our guns, and you could tell that in the first game at Minnesota. For me, even as an offense player, you could see a difference in the defense compared to their defense, just because they have had so many live reps that really wasn't our first game, just for the fact that we've already put a lot of body blows in, and we were ready to go. And from there, the only thing we need to clean up is not our effort and technique, or not our effort and assignments, but just our technique. So.
We talked a couple of defensive backs, and what a big week is that obviously they're up tempo, they throw a lot. But for you as an offensive lineman, is it a challenge for you guys because you guys can set the tempo and maybe slow things down to your pace, and what kind of challenges?
Yeah, for us, we had statistically, if we didn't count the sacks, we had over 200 yards of rushing against Minnesota. We haven't been able to do that in a long time against those guys. And we like, for me, what stood out is Minnesota is a team that historically just wants to keep the ball. We only had one drive that first quarter, but I looked at the time of possession at the end of the game. We were pretty similar, and I think if we run the ball, do our tempo, if we play our style of football, they would have to adjust. We just have to, again, every game's just one up front between in the trenches between the O-line and D-line. So.
Anything else for you?
Ethan, Coach Rules talked a lot this week in practice, and it's just football. Outside of all the hype, it simply comes down to football. How do you personally just break it down that simple?
I just stay off my phone. I don't look at anything that anybody's saying against us. No, I'm not looking at anything that the TV. I watch the games. We'd put the TV on mute because we're not even going to listen to announcers because it doesn't matter what's being said. The film speaks for itself. So you just gotta. I always look at coming into games like this. We just gotta look at it as like a high school game. Like you're just gonna go out there and play with the boys. So.
All good? All right, thank you.
Yep. Thank you.